projection, putting your feelings, your emotions, your intent, your actions off on someone else. Let's take a look at that.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth.
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty. This is the Afternoon Drive. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That'll give you notification of my rants, my ravings, and of course my undeniably flawless reasonings. Please like and share this video. That's the way that we get the word out that we're here. Thank you, and welcome to the Afternoon Drive. As the Democrats, i.e. people like Camilla think she's a hottie Harris, even old fossils like John Kerry, and the rest of the Dems seem to all be on the same bandwagon, using the same talking points, talking about the need for censorship. Only they don't call it that. They call it the need for responsible speech, that social media platforms need to make sure that there's only acceptable speech out there. You know, you can say the most off-the-wall, outlandish things about Donald Trump. That's never going to get fact-checked. And even though in the last debate, the vice presidential debate, the moderator said they would not be doing any live fact-checking, but they did fact-check J.D. Vance in real time. He fact-checked them back. They didn't like that. They didn't fact-check Tim Walz at all. And even though Tim Walz outright lied when he said that the abortion law in Minnesota does not in any way cover abortions right up to the moment of birth. When the law is requoted and explained, you can be in trouble on social media platforms because you didn't, quote, provide it context. So the fact checkers say that what Tim Walz said just needs some context, but anything that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth or J.D. Vance's mouth is an automatic, it's a lie. And when you have the Democrats constantly talking about we have got to stop disinformation, what they're really saying is they don't want the truth to get in the way of their disinformation. I said all that to say this. Hurricane Milton? Hurricane Helene? You really think that's natural?
I knew it. You're going to be one of those conspiracy nuts now. Now you're going to say that the Democrats and the government are manipulating weather to throw an election.
Why not? We saw what they did with Rovid to control the 2020 election. Change election laws right on the spot. Judges allowing them to do it because, after all, it's a pandemic. People are scared. North Carolina can't get help. FEMA turning help away. Private companies are going in there trying to rescue and save the people of North Carolina, and they're being threatened with arrest, with jail, with, you know, the government stepping in and seizing their assets, their property, and bankrupting them. Why don't they want the people of North Carolina helped? And now, all of a sudden, we've got this out-of-season Cat 5 going to take on another Republican area? I'm not saying, I'm just asking. Does any of this seem normal? And before you just poo-poo this as lunacy, right here on good old YouTube, there are all kinds of videos up talking about weather warfare. The History Channel did a whole series on it. The United States government has videos up that places like Dubai manipulate their weather to control the people. Is all that projection? In other words, the government wants you to be worried that China could manipulate the weather to try to attack us. So you're telling me that places like Dubai and China can manipulate weather, but the United States doesn't? We've already seen how far the deep state will go to try to stop Donald Trump, right up to 2 failed assassination attempts. You don't think that they would disrupt the lives of literally millions of people? You know, how many votes would they have to tank in Florida to flip it? How many people do they have to cut off from voting in North Carolina to flip it? Or keep it, depending on which narrative you want to listen to. Rasmussen polling, since Kamala got into this race, has said that Donald Trump has always led, that any polls indicating it's a Kamala race are fabricated and inflated. Yesterday, Rasmussen made the prediction that the pollsters were going to have to start coming back to planet reality because, after all, once the election is over, they are going to want to be taken seriously. They're going to want to be paid by other companies to do polling for them. The news media is going to want to still have an audience and somewhat be taken seriously. So we're starting to see the turn against Kamala, and we're starting to see the polls get honest. Reuters today said it's a tie. New York Times is still saying she still holds a 2 to 3 point lead. It's manipulation, it's gaslighting, it's what's the word? Disinformation. So when they talk about you and I spreading disinformation, it's projection on their part, because that's what they do. And for those of you that are scoffing, saying, are you really saying that you think the alphabet agencies of the United States would manipulate the weather just to keep Orange Man out of the Oval Office? Why not? Not to mention, at the same time, it fuels their other favorite issue to talk about, climate change. Again, I'm not making any assertions here. I'm not saying anything emphatic. I'm not trying to come out here as, an alarmist, fear-mongering, giving you clickbait. I'm just asking a question. Is it possible? And before the fact checkers spring into action, you know it's possible, because the United States openly and freely talks about other nations, some that are on, teetering on the verge of being third world toilets. They have the ability to manipulate weather, but the United States doesn't. Does that even pass the smell test? So again, I'm asking. I'm thinking out loud, and thinking is a good thing, because it's the one thing they don't want you to do. They don't want you to think. That's why they want censorship. That's why they want to mute voices. That's why they don't want dissenting opinion. See, I don't care if the things I say you find over the top or even make you mad, as long as I made you think. The Word of God declares, my people perish for lack of knowledge. It is time to engage the brain, to think, to muse. I know we live in an amusement culture. Amuse me. Don't make me think about anything, because the opposite of amusement is musing, and musing means to think and to weigh out and to logic through. That we don't want to do. We just want to play video games and be entertained and told that if we vote for Kamala, it really was a democratic process that got her there. Don't think it through how she actually got there. And as far as, hurricanes, hey, these are natural disasters as the result of global warming. Don't ask any questions beyond that. So I'm asking you, is it possible?